Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wonder Channel where curiosity meets crazy facts. Today we're diving into the world of science and biology to uncover 10 weird and unusual facts you probably didn't know. Trust me, some of these will leave you scratching your head or maybe your feet like a butterfly. You'll see what I mean. Let's get started. First up, did you know there's a type of star out there that can spin 600 times per second? That's faster than a kitchen blender on its highest setting. These cosmic speedsters are called pulsars, and they're basically the leftover cores of massive stars that exploded in supernovas. When these stars reach the end of their life cycle, they go out with a bang, creating a spectacular explosion. Imagine a star much bigger than our sun, running out of fuel and collapsing in on itself. This process is both dramatic and incredibly powerful, leading to the formation of something extraordinary. The gravity gets so strong it crushes the star's core, squeezing it down to the size of a city, about 10 miles across. Imagine all that mass packed into such a tiny space. This creates a super dense object called a neutron star. Neutron stars are some of the densest objects in the universe, with a single teaspoon of their material weighing billions of tons. As the star collapses, it also starts spinning incredibly fast, kind of like a figure skater pulling their arms in during a spin. The conservation of angular momentum causes this rapid rotation. This spinning, combined with the intense magnetic fields of a neutron star, creates beams of radiation that shoot out from its poles. These beams are incredibly powerful and can travel vast distances across space. That's what a pulsar is. These fascinating objects are like cosmic lighthouses sending out regular pulses of radiation. And because they spin so fast, those beams can be detected here on Earth as regular pulses of radio waves, hence the name pulsar. These pulses help astronomers study the universe in ways that were previously unimaginable. And now for a fact that's a bit cheeky. Some turtles can breathe through their butts. Certain species, like the Australian Fitzroy River turtle, use their cloaca, a multi-purpose opening, to extract oxygen from water. Most turtles breathe air just like you and me using their lungs, but some turtles live in water that doesn't have a lot of oxygen. The Fitzroy River turtle has a special trick up its shell. The cloaca is lined with blood vessels, kind of like gills. So when the turtle needs an oxygen boost, it submerges itself in water and takes in water through its cloaca. Speaking of weird, here's a platypus plot twist for you. They don't have stomachs. Yep, you heard that right, no stomach. Most animals, including us humans, have a stomach that acts like a kind of muscular bag where food gets churned around and broken down by acids. But platypuses, they decided to go a different route. They've evolved to skip that whole stomach step entirely. Instead, their esophagus connects directly to their intestines. Imagine that, just swallowing your food and it going straight to the intestines. It's like a food delivery express lane. Scientists aren't entirely sure why platypuses have evolved this way. One theory is that their diet of soft-bodied insects and crustaceans doesn't require the strong acids and churning action of a stomach to break it down, so they've adapted to have a more streamlined digestive system. Chapter 4. The Kangaroo Conundrum: Hopping but not reversing. Kangaroos, those iconic hoppers of Australia. They can leap across vast distances with those powerful hind legs and use their big, strong tails for balance. But here's the catch: they can't walk backward. It all comes down to their unique anatomy. Their tail is big and heavy, acting as a counterbalance when they hop. If they tried to go backward, that tail would get in the way. And the way their leg muscles and bones are arranged, well, they're just not designed for backward motion. Chapter 5. Shrimp Hearts, a head-on approach. Shrimp, those tiny, tasty crustaceans we often find on our plates. For instance, did you know their hearts are located in their heads? It's true. No chest cavity for these little guys. Shrimp, like other crustaceans, have what's called a cephalothorax. That's a fancy word for the fused head and chest section of their bodies. And right there, nestled inside the cephalothorax, is their heart. The shrimp's heart is much simpler than ours. It's a small, sac-like organ that pumps blood around their bodies in an open circulatory system. The fact that their heart is in their head is pretty amazing. Chapter 6. Frozen frogs, nature's ice pops. Now let's talk about some truly remarkable creatures. The frogs that laugh in the face of winter. These frogs have developed an extraordinary adaptation to survive the harshest of conditions. Certain frogs, like the wood frog, have a different strategy. They embrace the freeze. Instead of fleeing from the cold, they let it envelop them. These incredible amphibians can literally freeze solid in winter and thaw out alive in spring. It's a survival technique that seems almost magical. As temperatures drop, the wood frog's body starts to shut down. This process is gradual and carefully controlled. Its heart rate slows, its breathing stops, and ice crystals begin to form in its body, even around vital organs like the heart and brain. This would be fatal for most creatures, but not for the wood frog. Their bodies produce special antifreeze-like chemicals like glucose and urea that prevent the ice crystals from damaging their cells. These chemicals are crucial for their survival. These chemicals act like a protective shield, ensuring that when the frog thaws, its organs are still intact. This remarkable adaptation allows them to endure the freezing temperatures, and when spring arrives and the temperatures rise, these frozen frogs miraculously thaw out and hop back to life. It's a testament to the incredible resilience and adaptability of nature. Chapter 7. Butterflies, tasting the world with their feet. Butterflies, those beautiful fluttering insects that grace our gardens with their vibrant colors. We often admire them for their delicate wings and graceful flight, but here's something you might not know. Butterflies don't taste with their mouths, they use their feet. Butterflies have these sensory organs called chemoreceptors on their feet, specifically on the last segment of their legs called the tarsus. When a butterfly lands on a plant, those chemoreceptors come into contact with the plant's surface. These receptors are so sensitive that they can detect even the slightest traces of chemicals, allowing the butterfly to taste the plant. By tasting with their feet, they can determine if a plant is a suitable host for their caterpillars. Chapter 8. Platypus. Defense. Venomous spurs. We're back to platypuses. Those quirky creatures just keep getting weirder. Male platypuses have venomous spurs on their back legs. That's right, these seemingly cuddly creatures pack a painful punch. Now before you swear off ever going near a stream again, it's important to know that platypus venom isn't deadly to humans. However, it can cause some serious discomfort. The venom is produced in special glands located near the spurs on their hind legs. When a male platypus feels threatened, it can use those spurs as a defense mechanism, injecting venom into its attacker. The pain is said to be excruciating, lasting for days or even weeks and sometimes causing debilitating effects. Chapter 9. Pigeon reflections. Birds of a feather recognized together. Pigeons. We see them all the time in cities and parks, pecking at crumbs and strutting on sidewalks. These birds are a common sight, often blending into the urban landscape. They often get a bad rap as being rats with wings, but these birds are smarter than we give them credit for. Despite their reputation, pigeons have some remarkable abilities that might surprise you. In fact, studies have shown that pigeons can recognize themselves in mirrors. This fascinating discovery sheds light on their cognitive abilities. This might not seem like a big deal, but it's actually a sign of self-awareness. Self-recognition in mirrors is a trait shared by only a few species. In these studies, researchers presented pigeons with mirrors. They carefully observed the birds' reactions to their reflections. At first, the pigeons reacted as if they were seeing another bird. They displayed typical social behaviors such as pecking and cooing, but after a while they started to exhibit behaviors that indicated they recognized the reflection as themselves. They began to use the mirror to inspect parts of their bodies they couldn't normally see. This ability to recognize oneself in a mirror is considered a sign of self-awareness because it suggests that the animal has a sense of its own body as separate from the environment. It's a remarkable trait that highlights the intelligence of these often overlooked birds. Chapter 10. Goby fish scaling waterfalls with suction cup fins. For our final weird science fact, let's dive into the world of fish that can climb waterfalls. Meet the goby fish, nature's very own rock climber. These tiny fish, some no bigger than your fingernail, possess an incredible survival skill. They can scale waterfalls using suction cup-like fins. Goby fish are found in tropical and subtropical regions around the world, often in streams and rivers that are prone to flash floods and strong currents. Unlike most fish that rely on their tails and bodies for propulsion, gobies have modified pelvic fins that have fused together to form a suction cup-like disc on their bellies. This disc acts like a powerful suction cup, allowing them to adhere to smooth surfaces, even vertical ones. And there you have it, 10 of the weirdest and most unusual facts about science and biology. From pulsars spinning at mind-boggling speeds to turtles breathing with their behinds, we've explored some of the most bizarre and fascinating corners of the natural world. Remember, science is full of surprises, and the more we learn about our planet, the more we realize just how much there is still to discover. Which one blew your mind the most? Was it the butt-breathing turtle? The stomachless platypus? Or maybe the waterfall-climbing goby fish? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more wild wonders from the Wonder Channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.